Oh, you're filming, are you? Right. Welcome to Great British Churches, and today we are at St Margaret's Church in Stoven, or Stoven as it's called locally. Let's wait for a gap in the traffic. On a busy road here. Right, run! Run! I've got to show you this. If you're watching from overseas, look at this, look at this. I know it's not a church, but that is a Victoria, but VR postbox. All lost its detail through loads of paint, but look, still in use. Amazing, isn't it? Right, let's go and look at the church, because I think we've told this one is as boring as a Conservative Party dinner, and
Thanks, if you're a Conservative Party member, you don't think a dinner's boring.
you have to be starving. Right, let's have a... Let's go
Wow.
yeah, I know. It caught me out a bit, to be honest with you. I thought, actually, everyone says this is as boring as mud, but let's have a... I don't think it is. It is... Oh.
Well, they don't say it's boring, they say it's interesting and it's unique, but it's not something that, if you read, goes together. It was a Norman church, and then the Victorians got hold of it, and they decided to do neo-Norman.
Yeah.
And Paul was actually fooled by that north door. He thought that was a real Norman door,
No.
but it isn't.
knock-up.
There is a Norman door on the other side,
Let's have a look.
but
That was interesting.
it's
It's Victorian, but it's interesting.
Italianate, isn't it?
It is. Nice Romanesque arches up there. But
Oh, and look at the
obviously
corbel table up there underneath the roof.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I'm going to try and get up closer because I don't think anybody on film can see.
Let's try and get inside, because I've got something hanging off a private part of me, which is enormous and sucking blood at the moment. With the gnats, we're in gnat season, by the way.
We are getting eaten alive.
Even the butterflies here around.
Right, let's have a look. Can you see those corbels right underneath the ridge line of that roof?
There you go. Happy, smiling. God. It's like the expressions of somebody in pain.
Yeah,
We can't get in this door, can we? Well, no, I suppose we can. This is the main door.
this is the main door, yes.
Right, walk this way.
Right, we haven't actually been in here. This is the first time we've been in. Wow, and it's dark.
It's all right. The eyes are getting used to it.
Well, ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
It was strange.
Yes.
How very strange.
Even the vicar that we've spoken to today doesn't really like it. Look at that chancel arch. I'm actually gobsmacked.
So this is all 19th century mock-up.
Yeah, it is a Norman church that has had a Victorian renovation
Makeover.
to make it look Norman.
It's a shame, really, because I expect there is a charming bit here somewhere. I read about it somewhere in the book.
But even you look at, I don't know if you can see on the film, but even, are they real bricks, or is it just, it looks like someone's drawn it.
Yeah, it is. It's drawn into stucco.
Yeah, so,
It's like trompe-l'oeil.
yeah, so someone has actually gone round and made it look like it's made up of bricks, and it's probably just rendered. Now this is probably, I think it is, this is the original Norman door.
Yes, that door is certainly older than Victorian, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's probably the only thing that's left here.
Because it does say, risk of falling masonry, this door must be closed.
Yes, that's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
Oh, that's what we're going to do. Let's do it. Let's leave our Great British Churches card. Save it, and I'll fill in the book.
Okay, you fill in the book. Right, can I? Right, and we've got a font here, and it has got marble polished shafts there. I'm actually gobsmacked about this church. It's and we've got the tower there. Not that it's much of a tower. And then we've got, "Oh, come, let us sing unto the Lord."
Yeah.
Goes around there. Yeah, it is. It's not a pleasant church, is it?
I'm not.
You're
I'm
not.
not feeling it here at all.
No,
Let's go up the other end and have a look.
I don't think I want to.
Come on, get you moving, woman.
Now you can see you've got a Norman treatment of the windows. The windows are thick casements, so you know.
Maybe the walls aren't original.
Well, this church was going to be shut down in 1990, and they were hoping that the church's conservation trust were going to take it on, but they said no because of it being a Victorian build, basically. But then they had another look, and they did find some Norman details, and it managed to save it. Don't do that again, you made me jump.
Oh, right.
He just grabbed me.
Oh. I'm looking for protection.
We're going to need it.
Oh.
What on earth?
It's a funny building.
It is.
I don't know what to make of it.
I don't. Was this the one where they needed £200,000 to save it? I think it was.
Somebody did it for half the price or something.
Yeah, it needed an awful lot of money to have it saved. So I'm going to try and tell you a little bit about this. You've got decalogue boards that are obviously in the blind arches. Wall at east window. That is not.
Do you know what?
I'm so used to seeing glorious east windows that is disappointing. Yes, it might be that that's one of the only things that is. No, that's had the Victorian Norman treatment as well. It's.
Well, we don't dislike Victorian churches. Oh, look, that window's had some damage.
Yeah.
We don't dislike Victorian churches because actually was something we research in books that you've read.
Yeah.
Says that there's more churches built in this country in the Victorian period than any other.
There is,
We're mainly looking at medieval, aren't
but
we?
this is a Victorian treatment to make a Norman church, look like a Norman church. You know, and that chancel arch is just. I don't like the crack in the middle of that arch up the top there.
Got gas lights on the wall, like that. There is electricity in here because we've got some spotlights which are farmers.
Yeah, even on my notes it says the interior does little to lift the spirit, and it's. Oh, I don't know.
There's a fan heater under every pew.
Well, we've got encaustic tiles throughout. Which are those? Victorian tiles. I've been in better places with prettier tiles. There is an inscription behind the altar, but I just had a look up there and I couldn't see it. So, I suppose the history of the church is really how it was saved. In April 8, 1987, it was presented with a horrific £200,000 bill for repairs. The diocese architect, aware that this is an impossible demand, recommended that the church be demolished, enabling the parish to continue using a smaller, fitter building. Funding bodies and charities like English Heritage were unable to help, since the building was only listed at Grade 2 and wasn't considered important enough for injections of cash.
Can we have a look on the outside? Because this is actually making me feel a bit.
It is. It's depressing, isn't it?
I'm not getting the wow in here.
No, it is. It's depressing.
Let's close the door.
Have you locked the car?
No.
No. Okay. I'm going to let Paul take a walk around the church, and he's going to show you all the wonderful details.
Well, let's have a look. Let's see if we can find some wonderful. But
do you want the notes?
I'll give me all I could do with a laugh. Right.
You might be able to read out the history about how it was saved. You might not have anything else to talk about.
Right, let's go on an adventure. Oh, earlier in another video, I thought Mel had been run over by a bus because she didn't join us at one of the churches, but it was on a very busy road. But she's going to go back and sit in the car now.
Yeah.
Right, onwards. Let's have a look round.
I'll see you in a bit.
Righto. As we can see from the tombstones, yeah, it is a church. It's hard to think, and I'm looking up there at that tower. It is very hard to think that this church, you know, dates back to the 11th century. I mean, what do you do? I mean, look at it. It's very, very Italianate, isn't it? I think you're in Port Merion or somewhere. That's just what I feel. Actually, it's in keeping with that Victorian building over there. It's a modernish cemetery. Now, this is the original doorway, according to what we've read. You have a look in there, there's big old bricks have been used and just stuccoed over. And see there, they're scratched to make it look like stone. Try and give it some history, but the old Victorians, they weren't much for planning. I mean, all the exterior windows, look, they've got Norman arches on it. But this apparently is an original doorway. As we can see, it's got the spindle, I think spindle fold or something it's called, which is what the Normans did. Well, the Normans were copying Roman. And if we look up there in the tower, look at the top, if we look at one of the churches we visited recently, you know, that is a copy of Romanesque. It's what was left of, you know, from the Roman occupation. And it's a copy, and this is a copy of a copy of a copy, I suppose. But yeah, let's look at the roof. Yep. No, poor old Victorians have spoilt this one to my mind. But still, it's a local parish church, and it's still important to its parishioners. And somebody got up the guts to save it, because apparently this one was due for demolition. So you know, I don't know what you do with a site like this, because you've got a rather large cemetery. But I think I'm going to head back now. So that's a copy doorway, copy windows. Oh, this isn't doing it for me. No, I'm afraid. No, I'm afraid. St Margaret's Church at Stoven, not on my favourites list, but then hey ho, you know, it's a place of worship, and so, you know, somebody's thought to save it. Anyhow, quick swift round. Are you ready? If you've liked this video, please press all the buttons and do all the usual stuff, like and subscribe, and we'll see you back on the next one on Great British Churches. Bye bye for now.